This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Hello, everyone. We have got a very special show in store for you. June is Pride Month.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. And today we are celebrating all things LGBTQ+, but this year, I want to make this clear, for so many members of the community, Pride feels very different. After years of making real headway in terms of LGBTQ rights and acceptance, some are now waging a war on the community. They're banning their books, they're preventing their stories and their histories from being taught in classrooms, even removing Pride-themed product from the store shelves. This one's different, isn't it, Al? This is a different type of pride.
It's different, but very much the same. All these things we're talking about, Erica, banned books, you know, discriminatory actions versus a minority. You could pick any history book and open it to any page, and it'll be talking about this exact same thing. Not as the late, great Otha Jackson used to say, there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. Interesting. And we got to be prouder and louder this year. So to kick off our special Pride show, we've got the very first ever transgender lawmaker from Montana. You might have heard of her because Representative Zoe Zephyr made headlines a few months ago after she was barred from the House floor. Now, her Republican colleagues accused her of breaking the rules of decorum after she spoke out against the state's ban on transgender care for minors and other anti-LGBTQ bills. We have the honor of speaking with Zoe earlier, Representative Zephyr, I should say. Please take a look. Representative Zoe Zephyr, such an honor from Montana's 100th House District. Please welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, Representative Zephyr, in honor of Pride, let's start with something celebratory because we hear you just got engaged. So, congratulations. Tell us all about it. I see you doing the whole, yes.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely. You know, the legislative session had been difficult for a variety of reasons and culminated in those big moments at the end. And my then girlfriend, Erin Reed, came out to be with me after the session. And it felt like a perfect moment to say, you know what, I can't wait. I want to promise forever. We'd been talking about getting engaged later in the summer, but the ring came in and I was like, I want forever with you and I need to make that promise right now.
That's so romantic.
That's beautiful, and it's also unfair. Erica got the beautiful question.
Yeah.
I gotta get to the somewhat unfortunate particulars, so let's get right into it. You gained attention when you were banned from the Montana House floor after Republicans of that state voted to censor you after speaking out about the state's anti-trans legislation. Tell us about what happened and just why it matters so much.
So the Republican supermajority had brought a handful of bills targeting the LGBTQ community, from bills banning our books, banning our art forms, our histories, our healthcare, and even in Montana, in Senate Bill 458, writing us out of code entirely.
Wow.
And I spoke out against this legislation. I spoke out against the very real harms that these bills bring with personal experience, having seen the suicide attempts that came from trans teens in my state. And when marginalized communities are rising up and saying, these bills are hurting us, it wasn't enough for the Republicans in my state to pass those bills. What they needed to do was silence those who are trying to hold them accountable.
Wow. Let me ask you this. At least 18 states have enacted laws restricting or banning gender-affirming care for transgender minors, including in Montana. Why do you think these laws are also bad policy?
So they're bad policy because when it comes to our healthcare decisions, if you had a child with diabetes, if you had a child who had Marfan's disease, you would turn to every major medical association and say, what are the best practices? You would rely on your doctors, on your endocrinologists, on all of the specialists. And that's how gender-affirming care works. If a trans youth is insistent, persistent, and consistent, and that's the DSM-5's definitions, in their gender dysphoria, then you go to your doctor, you go to your therapist, your endocrinologist, and you take slow and careful steps to get them the care that is approved for by every major medical association. And to say, no, this is the one instance where government should step in our healthcare decisions, that to me is just inherently bad policy on top of being discriminatory in allowing these care for cisgender teens, but not allowing it for trans teens.
So what would you say to people who are for these types of laws and think that they're necessary to protect kids from making decisions that they may regret later?
So I would say talk to trans people in your life. Trans people know that when we transition, we come into a resonance with ourselves. We get to live full, authentic lives. I would not be able to do the work I do in the legislature without having transition. And when it comes to youth, remember that A, this is done carefully and slowly in conjunction with doctors and following best practices. But B, to make it the child who is trans and wants to transition, to make them go through a puberty in alignment with their birth sex, that's tantamount to torture.
Wow, well said. Let's switch gears here. It's Pride Month. I'm curious, what does Pride mean to you this year? When I saw you hold that mic up, Pulitzer Prize photograph, that is what Pride meant to me. You know, just a huge moment on the floor. What does it mean to you?
You know, a year ago, I gave a speech in Missoula, Montana, my home, and I said, Pride is a sanctuary where we buffer ourselves with community from the attacks that we are facing. We get to celebrate one another. I also said Pride is a protest. It's where we stand in defiance of people who want our eradication from public life. And we say, we will not go back into the closet. We will exist, and we will exist together in community. And in these moments as well, Pride feels like a never-ending font of joy. And I feel all three of those things, the sanctuary, the protest, and the joy, throughout me, throughout this month of June.
Wow. You have an incredible future, Representative Zoe Zephyr. Thank you so much for being here. We are honored to have you. A very important interview. To find out more about Representative Zephyr and to learn more about her campaign, check out her socials at Zoe and Behold. I love a good pun. All right, thanks again.
She really does.
That's so good.
She's gonna walk with that.
I'm going to love it. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with two-time Grammy nominee Brat and her wife Judy about their unique love story and their IVF journey. Plus, we're catching up with the queen of bounce, Big Freedia.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I want to have a conversation about what's happening now.
It's like, so that just shows you how many people there are.
I know, and different tastes as well. Right. How many people do you think Red Rock seats? Because I just found this out. Or sits.
Rob would know, but
I know exact number.
10,000?
Lower.
8,000.
Lower.
5,500?
Lower.
3,500?
It's 4,000, which is Fiddler's Green is like twice that, which is why like people don't always do Red Rocks. For the money, you get better seats at like a Fiddler. You get twice the amount.
Wow.
But Red Rocks is so special.
That's the whole thing, not just reserve seats?
Yeah. It's not a large amphitheater. It's like Hollywood. Let's look.
Hollywood Bowl. I wonder, what do you think that holds?
I knew this at one point. Bye!
So,
Welcome back. That's Big Freedia's new summer jam, $100 Bill, featuring Sierra. Last summer, the Queen of Bounce had us release our Wiggle with Beyonce, and now Freedia's wearing even more crowns. Earlier, we caught up with her just in time for Pride. Take a look.
Hey, Queen, happy Pride! Hi there.
We are so excited to have you, and Tori is losing her mind that she got to call you Queen.
Yeah.
So since we're celebrating Pride, were you always this comfortable representing for the LGBTQIA plus community, or was it something that you became more comfortable with over time?
I became more comfortable over time. I would say that my mom really helped me to become confident over the years. And just going out there, owning my own space and you know, the performing, it really helped as well. You know, owning all of the spaces here in New Orleans and representing for the community. I just went out there and kept grinding.
That's beautiful. New Orleans, my favorite city in the country. I've said it many times on this show. So that's the closest to church I'll ever get. So it's great to talk to you. Great to see you again. Let's get to some unpleasantries. The LGBTQ plus community seems to be yet again the target of a lot of conservative groups, and drag shows and gay-themed books and movies are being banned. Have you had to deal with this kind of homophobia as a gay hip-hop artist?
In certain spaces, I feel like I have, but, you know, in those spaces, I kind of removed myself from those spaces and, you know, went to the spaces that I'm comfortable in and the spaces that will protect me and are that the allies for the LGBTQ community. You know, it's a shame that we are going backwards instead of going forward and progressing. And I think that, you know, it's up to us as the people to start shaking up these leaders and the people that's in power, in office, to really get these bills and all of this stuff thrown out. It is up to us as the community to stick together, and we need not only the LGBTQ community, but we need our allies as well to stand up for these and for the rights.
Absolutely. Well said. Let's talk music now, because you are the queen of New Orleans bounce music. Ow. So how would you describe bounce music for Tori?
Tori, I will tell you that bounce music is up-tempo, it's heavy bass, call and response type music, and has a lot to do with shaking up the butt.
Yeah.
Release your wiggle.
Release the wiggle.
There we go.
We just gonna let her have that moment.
She's out here sweating. I love Tori. Good for you, girl.
So your new reality show, Big Freedia Means Business, is about you building an empire. It includes a record label, beauty and cannabis products.
Awesome.
And I'm so excited about this, a boutique hotel in New Orleans. What are you most excited about?
All of the things, all of the above. I'm excited about the hotel, though, especially because it will be a staple here in New Orleans. It will be a music venue, a restaurant, and a hotel all in one, where people could come and enjoy Freedia's recipes and my cooking. And also they will enjoy some great music, and they'll have a place to stay all at the same time.
I mean, how far in advance are we going to have to book out? Because I really need to be, this is on my list. I need to be there.
We could just come down and check it out. I'm just saying, you know, we'd be willing to, you know, reviews, shout you out.
So I think there will be definitely a long list with the hotel, but the restaurant, we will be trying to get people in and out constantly. But the hotel, I think, will definitely have probably a year in advance list, and hopefully not longer. But it will definitely be constantly booked and people fighting to get into those rooms.
Oh, I'm ready to fight. I can fight.
She's gonna throw
You know what? Just have Tori bounce in the street and distract them, and then we'll run in.
I got you.
Yeah. All right, now I want to ask this. Your business meetings sometimes include what you call a, quote, shakedown. Can you explain what that is, and do you mind if you teach us? Because I think that would be fun.
Well, it's a little shake break. You know, we are handling business constantly on the TV show, and the shake break is the moment where we get to just put the computers down, put down the pens and papers, put down the phones, and we get to, get up and do a little shake break.
We should try that during the commercial
Also
break.
known as the best HR of all time.
Yeah.
Have a problem with Jeff. I will see you on the floor.
Thank you for joining us, Big Freedom. DBL Nation, Big Freedom Means Business premieres Wednesday night, June 7th on Fuse. It was such an honor speaking with you. Let's all shake and break. We'll be right back.
Thank y'all so much.
Oh, what am I doing with my shoulders? What's happening? Oh,
yeah.
Was I the only one going?
Bye-bye.
I'm doing.
You're 100% that queen.
There is nothing I like better than finding a great deal on travel. And it turns out I'm not alone. Verify viewer Catherine emailed us to ask, is there a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket? So Catherine, let's verify. Our sources are Scott's Cheap Flights, a study by cheapair.com, and Brett Snyder, president of Cranky Concierge Travel Assistance and a former airline pricing analyst. Some studies suggest Tuesday or Saturdays are the cheapest days to buy tickets, but all of our sources say they usually rely on flawed or outdated data. For example, some articles suggest that weekends are the cheapest days to buy. Snyder points out that's based on data that tracks the average amount spent on a ticket each day of the week. Families tend to buy their tickets on weekends and usually purchase less expensive tickets. Meanwhile, business travelers tend to buy their tickets during the week, and many are less price sensitive.
A lot of the business travel, premium cabin or even last minute or whatever it might be, those tend to be higher fares.
The end result is a study that has skewed data. Similar articles suggest Tuesdays offer the best deals, but our sources say that's also not the case. Scott's Cheap Flights explains on its site that this idea is a holdover from the 1990s when airlines used to upload special e-fares on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. These days, Snyder says airlines use sophisticated algorithms to consistently adjust fares based on demand, regardless of what day of the week it is.
This hasn't existed for years. I couldn't tell you the last time when those actually were out there in the market.
So we can verify, no, there is not a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket. So when should you book? Cheapair.com found domestic tickets are generally cheapest 3 to 15 weeks before departure. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL and happy Pride Month. Earlier, we sat down with soon-to-be parents, two-time Grammy nominee Brat and Kaleidoscope Hair CEO Judy Harris-Dupart. Watch.
I just want to thank you both for being so open about your struggles with your fertility journey. I know that it became a hot button issue, but I'm going through IVF right now, and I understand the importance of genetic testing. What else would you tell people to kind of be aware, especially women of color who are going through the fertility journey, because people forget about us?
So for me, I would say, honestly, the health risks, because we did have a health scare. Also, just understanding that even if you're a woman that's on a go or a career woman and you don't have it in your mind to have children now, there's a certain age that you lose the chance of, having any more eggs.
My poor little eggs were dried up, honey. I had none. Where, thank God my wife had still a decent amount, but you don't realize as you get older, they decrease quicker. Now, being pregnant is not, I've never been pregnant and I'm 49. So I have carpal tunnel in both hands. Sometimes I feel like my wrist is broken. I have liver levels that are abnormal that I've never heard of. I got a hemorrhoid or two every now and then. My toes look like Vienna sausages. I have cankles. Just like, oh my God. But I'm taking it all in stride because I'm very grateful and I feel very blessed and honored to be pregnant at my age. And I just want to tell women at my age to never give up.
Okay, so I know that you two met at one of Judy's Kaleidoscope Hair events. Judy, did you have a crush on Brat before you actually met her?
We talked about this, but she doesn't believe me. I told her that, but she said because I don't know all of the words to all of her songs, and she feels as though I couldn't have possibly. But I told her that a very long time ago. Growing up, I used to listen to her and kind of have heart eyes. Like, didn't really expect to meet her.
Did you feel like you had to keep your sexuality private during your career? And was there anybody in the industry that knew?
People that were close to me knew, and the people that I trusted and loved and you know, that genuinely had my back, they knew, and they would protect me and I would protect them. But yeah, back in the day, it wasn't easy as it is today. If you remember, Ellen lost her talk show.
Yep.
Right.
You know, life went downhill for people who came out with their sexuality. But thank God that it's different today. I was nervous to come out, but when I met my beautiful right here, she lived out loud already, and I was like, I want the world to know how good this feels. Like, I don't want to hide this, and it felt like a weight was lifted when I finally told people.
We have a lot of people who write in and say the show helps them literally find their identity. And I want to ask you, what do you have to say to those struggling to find their identity because you were living your life out loud?
I've had a certain sense of fearlessness. So I was fortunate enough to be able, like, I'm the person that will jump off a cliff and figure out the parachute the way down.
Poor Brat, like, no.
I think that actually kind of went into my business acumen too. So when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like this is who I am. This is who I show up. This is how I'm going to show up. Whoever it aggravates, whoever it upsets, they weren't meant to be in my life. They weren't meant to do this. They weren't meant to do that. Because even when, you know, my parents found out, they didn't like it, but I didn't change it.
Before we let you go, what are you most excited for your viewers to see in the final episodes of Brat Loves Judy Season 3?
You get to, what I'm excited about is you guys, like, the cameras have been for the journey. So the cameras were there for the miscarriage, the cameras were there when we first found out about the pregnancy. So I like that the cameras get to see Brat's first reaction to finding out we're pregnant, not only to that, but finding out the pregnancy is moving along, to seeing the heartbeat, to hearing the heartbeat the first time, and all of those different special moments, because I know that everybody will appreciate that, especially people that either have experienced it before, people that want to experience it. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, me.
Oh,
wow.
Y'all are so cute.
I know. I can't handle it. I can't.
I can't.
DBL Nation, new episodes of Brat Loves Judy air every Thursday on WeTV. Happy Pride, you two. You guys deserve it all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love is in the air. How cute were they? We'll be right back.
Do yourself a favor and come over and look at this. My sweet pups just snoozing the day away. I spend a lot of time thinking about them, but do they spend as much time thinking of me? That's the claim in viral posts on Instagram touting new research that supposedly proves dogs often dream of their owners. Let's verify. To dig into this one, we looked at some of the leading scientific research on the topic, and many of the claims cite an interview of Dr. Deidre Barrett, Harvard Medical School psychologist, in People magazine online. Here's what she says, quote, humans dream about the same things they're interested in by day. There's no reason to think animals are any different. Since dogs are generally extremely attached to their human owners, it's likely your dog is dreaming of your face, your smell, and of pleasing or annoying you. But that's really just an educated guess. We weren't able to get a hold of Dr. Barrett for this story, but we did look into what else we know about dog dreams and spoke with Dr. Stanley Coren, who's written books on the topic.
Because we want to know as much as we can about our dogs and what they're thinking. It's not going to change the universe, but it helps us to understand.
Research on rats has found the animals replay the events of their day in their dreams, and Dr. Coren says researchers agree this likely applies to dogs as well. He cites additional experiments that conclude dogs dream of very specific activities from their waking hours, pointing, digging, retrieving, for example.
You're not going to find any research study which says your dog is dreaming about Abby. There is research which shows that just like human beings, animals sort of replay events of the day as part of their dreams. Then, in fact, you know, Abby's dogs can be dreaming about Abby. I mean, but it's a leap of faith.
So while we cannot verify that your dogs are dreaming about you, like the posts claim, since there's no data to back that up, we also can't verify they're not dreaming about you either. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
YouTube is home to billions of hours of video, including clips from creators who haven't posted anything new in years. One tweet with nearly 2 million views claims Google is planning to delete inactive accounts, which means removing YouTube accounts and their videos since Google owns YouTube. So let's verify. Is Google deleting YouTube videos from inactive accounts? Our sources are Google and YouTube's creator liaison, Renee Ritchie. Google updated its inactive account policy in a May 16th blog post. It said Google may delete content within Google Workspace, YouTube, and Google Photos. However, a day later, the post was modified to remove YouTube from the list and add that they do not have plans to delete accounts with YouTube videos at this time. Ritchie, who serves as a bridge between YouTube and video creators, confirmed on Twitter that Google is not deleting any accounts with YouTube videos, meaning old YouTube videos are safe. So, no, Google is not deleting YouTube videos from inactive accounts. Google says it will begin deleting accounts without videos that haven't been used in 2 years starting in December. You can keep your account active by logging into your account or logging into a third-party application that's tied to your Google account. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you want to up your patio game this summer, here's some tips sponsored by Sunsetter. First up, add a hammock. I just did that this year. It is cheaper and more comfortable than patio furniture. Next, bring in some color with an outdoor rug. Also use rechargeable lanterns instead of candles. And lastly, don't forget to keep it cool by covering up. With affordable custom features without the custom price, Sunsetter is America's #1 best-selling awning. Spend more time outside. Get the best value with Sunsetter. It's been an industry leader for 30 years. So call 1-800-513-6851 or visit sunsetter.com for guaranteed pricing on American-made awnings built to last. You know what I did is solar lights.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I wrapped it around every tree. And then I put it on every brick. And then last night we went out, and it's too much.
I was going to say,
it's too much.
was the last brick from your neighbors?
Yes. Even they said something. It's gotten too much. Because as a Jew, I never had Christmas lights. I've overcorrected.
Well, I think you put them up when it's light outside, so you're like, oh, this should be a pattern. But then when it gets dark and you're like, this looks like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Like you have to have like a little framework for it.
There's just a wall with big lights hanging for no reason.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort. If you want to bring them some over to my house.
You know I will.
I do need some.
Well, I can bring y'all.
Next time, Pinterest before, it'll give you some themes
I did Pinterest. I over Pinterest.
But did you do every page of Pinterest?
I did every page.
Yes.
The whole board I put up. And Brooks is like, it's so bright I can't see out here. So DBL is new every day. We will see you the same time, same place.
And we will see Tori's house.
We'll see you.